Hey guys, Nick Ringus here, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about golf. I don't get to talk much about golf at home. I do every day, and then my wife and two girls quickly shut it down and and tell me to stop with all that golf talk. But today, here with you today, I'm going to talk about a little bit about golf. I'm a big golfer. I've been playing golf for the past 6 or 7 years, pretty regularly, working on my game. And up until very recently, I was working without a coach or without lessons and just working on my own at the range, playing, trying to get better. And my game did get better, but it was very slow, slow progress. And I got it to a point where I'm playing decently. I'm above average at playing at around a 10 or just under a 10 handicap. For those of you who don't know, it's above average. Um, but it only was when I started having regular lessons with a coach that I started making really good progress on a regular basis. And here's why I think that is. So when I was practicing alone, I wasn't getting any feedback as to what I was doing right or wrong. I was just out there playing, getting the reps in, just having fun. Um, and I didn't know what I was doing really. I didn't know what was working, what wasn't working. And then now that I'm getting lessons on a regular basis, even if it's a half an hour, hitting balls in front of a coach and even at a simulator or outside in front of not a TrackMan, but I believe he uses the Flight Scope device to tell you a bunch of different data points on every single swing. And it maps out every swing, it records your swing. So after every swing, we go to the machine, we go to the tablet, and in the program, it tells us a bunch of different metrics for each swing. And there was one in particular that taught me a lot, and it was, well, three, but it's all related to one part of the swing, which is the way that the face of the club is coming into the ball, the angle of attack there, where the club is at the ball, and where the club is going after the ball. And previously, or when I first got started with this coach, those numbers were very high. So that meant I was like taking the club back inside and kind of going around my body. So it was a low kind of circle around my body as opposed to up like this, right? So he showed me these numbers and he said that, look, we need to get these like below 5 on each side, and at the middle as close to 0 as possible. When we started, it was like between 10 and 15 degrees that I was coming into the ball very shallow, like around my body, right? Like this. And he wanted me to raise the arc so that I'm coming in more steep. So to get it from 10 to 15 on either side of the ball to plus or minus just around 5 or under 5 on either side of the ball. So he wanted me to make it a lot steeper. But the point of the story is I would have never known what to work on specifically, what thing would have the greatest impact on my game if it wasn't for the feedback and the metrics. Now, how does this relate to business? And I'm going to drill this into your heads and into my own head until it's stuck there and I never, ever work without clarity, metrics, and feedback. And that is having the right scoreboards in every aspect of our company has been like the Flight Scope was to golf. So today, for example, we had our sales and marketing call, and last week we looked at the scoreboard. Each week we look at the scoreboard, and it's filled with about a dozen metrics, some drivers and lead metrics, things that we can control, activities, and some lag measures, things that we can't control. So when looking at people that raise their hands and say that they're interested, we call that a warm lead, or people that reply to one of our marketing messages. Then we respond to those people, and we work on getting them on a strategy call to see if there's a right fit. And last week we had our best week ever with people that raised their hands that they're interested. And 25 people raised their hand that they're interested. But we only had 5 appointments set and 3 appointments that were actually kept. So 2 canceled and 3 showed up. And so I thought that ratio was very low. It was better than last week, because last week we found out that it was low because by the time our person got the message that this lead had come through, it was not coming directly from that person responding. So like someone would respond to an email saying that they're interested, and then we'd have a VA respond, thank you for your interest. We'll reach out as soon as possible. And by the time that message got to the person, then the person would call them back after that. And it would take sometimes hours after the prospect raised their hand and said they were interested. Sometimes hours since then that we responded and called them and tried to get them onto an appointment. When studies show that the first 5 minutes after somebody says they're interested is critical. After that, the success rate just falls off a cliff. So what we did was we got our person the notifications quicker, but there's still room for improvement. And then this week, we found out that people that were getting on the phone and having the strategy call, or even the people that we were responding to that raised their hand even before the strategy call, we were finding out that they weren't interested, and that they were interested in something that we weren't really providing. So we looked at the emails together and the messaging that was going out, and there was a line in the very first paragraph that was leading people to believe that we sold leads, which is something that we don't do. So as soon as they found out that we don't exactly sell leads, that we, build a website and a online presence, a machine that can deliver clients like clockwork, it could take a couple months to build that up. As soon as they found out that what we were promising, or what they thought we were promising in the email, wasn't exactly a reality, they weren't interested anymore. And it was also making us look bad. But it wasn't until we saw those metrics that we dug a little deeper to say what's going on here. And we looked at the messaging that was going out, and we realized that something was wrong, and then there's something that we need to change in order to have more people get on a strategy call with us and to sign more clients out of the people that said they were interested. So just like that angle of attack that I said that I was looking at, that I was blind to before getting these lessons on a regular basis and playing in front of a flight scope device that gave me a bunch of feedback on every swing, just like that, I didn't know any of this, and we would never have known any of this in our sales and marketing processes unless we were looking at the scoreboard each and every week, unless we were looking at these specific metrics to tell us like, hey, something's up with this metric. I think we could do better here. And if we do better here, then this will have the greatest overall impact on our goal, which is closing new business and closing new clients, signing new clients to our services. So that's how I promised that I would bring it around and relate it to business in some way. And I hope you don't mind that I'm talking about scoreboards again, but I think that's how important they are, because that's the type of clarity that they've provided for us in our business. So that's how golf relates to business. All right, guys, what about you? What metrics do you look at? What's on your scoreboard? What lead measures or lag measures do you think are most important to your business or to your department? Let me know. You can always email me at nkringus@gmail.com or reach out in the comments. Remember, as always, people support what they help create. This has been Nick Kringus, and thanks again for watching.